So like, who am I compared to Mike Mentzer? Well, real talk, and this is me just being snooty, so I don't really mean all this. I mean in a factual sense, but I don't want to come off like a dick. I'm bigger and stronger than Mike Mentzer. That's it. Yeah. So all of a sudden, that changes the game. Yeah. I'm more educated than Mike Mentzer. I know more things than Mike Mentzer. I'm bigger and stronger than Mike Mentzer. That's it.
So Dorian Yates just ended Dr. Mike's whole career in about 30 seconds, and nobody's talking about it enough. For those who don't know, Dorian Yates won Mr. Olympia 6 times. He did it in the 90s using Mike Mentzer's high-intensity training methods. The same methods Dr. Mike spent 7 minutes calling outdated, psychotic, and backwards.
I heard about Mike Mentzer 20 years ago, and by the time I heard about him, everything he ever thought and said had already been written and said. I could have fully appraised the breadth of his analysis because he was like relevant in the 80s, and then no longer. It was RIP. He just isn't around. And so when people are like, what do you think about Mike Mentzer? My asshole thought is, whenever I think about Mike Mentzer, I already thought it 20 years ago, which means that Mike Mentzer had a couple of things he said that were brilliant, spot on, and absolutely require our consideration. He had a few other things he said which were insane, psychotic, totally dumb, and fucking backwards wrong. So with the Mike Mentzer thing, because it's a fad, it's like, we already know what Mike Mentzer did that worked well, and we already know what he did that didn't work well. I'll say another thing. The number one reason people are trying to get into Mike Mentzer bullshit is not that Mike Mentzer had a very convincing analysis of the bodybuilding process that was compelling and evidence-based, or even just based on heuristics that made sense. The reason that people getting into Mike Mentzer, as far as I can tell, is a few things. One, he had a cool mustache. Legitimately, I think people are just into that 80s look. Two, it's like tough guy thing of going to failure. Like fucking hard, one fucking hard set. And it's simple. People like simple. People get anxious when they see complexity, and that's understandable. So they like simple and hardcore. I'm a man. I don't like to think a whole lot. I like to go. And no offense, it's not the case for most people, but some people gravitate towards that philosophy because, like, real talk, they're just fucking lazy. One set a week of legs, that's all you do. But if Mike Mentzer said it worked, and he's 80s and hardcore and cool and was muscular and had an attitude and sort of sounded smart, then a lot of people are in. And the number one reason Mike Mentzer is someone that's regarded, I would say, more highly than necessary at this current juncture, is because he's trending on fucking TikTok with these TikToker fucks. Yeah. Which dope. They're all great people, just good humans like the rest of us. But just because you trended doesn't mean you said some right shit, you know? So at the end of the day, what I think about Mike Mentzer, I could very easily sum up, but it's the same summary I could have given you 20 years ago. And the crazy thing to me is, like, I saw a fucking reel on my YouTube shit. You know, YouTube does the fucking shorts. And it was like, Mike Mentzer's advice on diet. What? Motherfucker was around in 1982. I don't give a fuck what someone from 1982 said about diet. I'm sorry. Because what he said about diet was already absorbed and processed by everyone by 1988, by 1996, 2012. We're 2023 out in this motherfucker, man. Next you tell me what Elvis ate for breakfast and how that's relevant. Who gives a flying fuck? And, like, you know, Mike Mentzer was impressive for his time, but he wasn't impressive in an absolute sense. Like, did he have some kind of insight that the rest of us didn't? I'll tell you right now, the answer is no. So when people are like, oh, what did Mike Mentzer like? What was his diet like? I'm like, why the fuck do you want to know? So I don't know what to tell you. So, like, who am I compared to Mike Mentzer? Well, real talk, and this is me just being snooty, so I don't really mean all this. I mean in a factual sense, but I don't want to come off like a dick. I'm bigger and stronger than Mike Mentzer. That's it. So all of a sudden, that changes the game. I'm more educated than Mike Mentzer. I know more things than Mike Mentzer. And a lot of that's not because I'm some amazing guy. It's because I've just been in the future. And I've learned everything he did and then everything after.
Dorian saw that video, and Dorian had some thoughts.
Okay, I guess I'm Mike's friend. He's not here. So, Dr. Mike, first of all, I hope that you're being, like, tongue-in-cheek, kind of humorous. Otherwise, I fear either for your eyesight or your mental health. Because obviously your physique's nowhere near Mike Mentzer, even with all the PEDs that you're taking, that you estimate will take 10 years off your life. Well, maybe you need to ask yourself whether it's worth it, mate, because a bag of shit that gets bigger is just a bigger bag of shit. Still a bag of shit. You know what I mean, mate?
Dorian's saying there's only 2 explanations for Mike comparing himself to Mentzer. Either he's blind and can't see what he looks like, or he's crazy and doesn't know what reality is. Mike admits he's on so much gear it's gonna kill him 10 years early. And Dorian's like, yeah, we know. And you still don't look good. You dying early for mid-results. How do you respond when a 6-time Mr. Olympia tells you that you look like shit compared to the guy you were just criticizing. You can't cite a study. You can't reference your PhD because Dorian's resume is better than any piece of paper you could wave around. Mike thought his letters after his name gave him permission to talk down about legends. Turns out the legends don't care about your letters. What kills me is Mike brought this on himself. He went out of his way to shit on Mentzer's methods. Mike thought he could just dismiss all of that because he's evidence-based, and Mentzer was from the 80s. Mike's not going to respond to this. How could he? If he argues back, he's arguing with a 6-time Mr. Olympia about bodybuilding. That's like arguing with Michael Jordan about basketball. You just look stupid. Don't talk shit about legends if you're not a legend yourself. It's that simple. Mike could have just not said anything about Mentzer, could have focused on his own stuff, could have stayed in his lane, but he wanted to feel superior, wanted to show everyone how much smarter he is than the old school guys. I'm Zirk. Stay real.